how's it going, everybody? Happy Monday, and you should be psyched, because unless you are hidden under a giant boulder in the middle of Greenland where there is no internet service and you're having your skull gnawed on by a Neanderthal, or you are just completely oblivious to reality, you should be psyched, because the news that only very few people believed could happen, news that only a couple people knew about beforehand, news that family members of this player didn't really even fully know about. It happened. The one player everyone thought would 100% for sure, no matter how many touchdowns he had, how many yards he's had, he was going to the NFL after this season, right? Am I talking about B.J. Ojulari, Jaquelin Roy? No. I'm talking about Kayshon Boutte. So we should be gearing up for a Kayshon Boutte NFL announcement. He's done with LSU. That was his final game in the SEC championship game, and I was feeling lucky to have seen his final performance live and seeing him play probably his best game of the season outside of Florida. But no, we got Christmas early this year, folks. Kayshon Boutte, in a glorious statement that he put out himself, obviously with the help of LSU, really, I mean, he's coming back. He's coming back for his senior season. Why? He wants to win a national championship at LSU. That is why. He wants to graduate from LSU. He wants to graduate as a champion from LSU. And you know what? Seeing Kayshon put BK Takeover at the bottom of his statement announcement. Kayshon Boutte hates Brian Kelly. There's so much tension between Kayshon and Kelly, right? Kayshon and Kelly butting heads, huh? Kayshon and Kelly going at each other. Kayshon and Kelly's not giving Kayshon the ball because he's sick of him. He doesn't like how Kayshon... All of it is absolutely embarrassing and stupid. And I am so glad that we saw through all the haze of bullshit throughout this season when it comes to Kayshon Boutte, because luckily we were able to get a really good vantage point perspective on behind the scenes with Kayshon. Through a few very close sources to Kayshon, but that's the thing, is Kayshon, very quiet, very chill, very humble dude, and instead he's been cast as this, NIL monster who just wants money and just wants fame and glory and just the NFL and screw you, LSU. And then you completely had, no clue who this dude really was. Well, if you had any doubts, if you had any reservations, if you were wondering, what kind of player is Kayshon? What kind of guy is Kayshon? This is Kayshon Boutte. The real Kayshon Boutte is standing right up, firmly right now. And you know what? Something people haven't really talked about Kayshon Boutte. Yes, he only has 2 touchdowns this season. It's crazy. And it's through no fault of his own. When you've got a quarterback who's not even throwing you the football, ignoring you with wide open routes, and then, when the ball finally comes, maybe you're not ready for it sometimes. He's had some drops, Kayshon. He hasn't played up to his best at times this season. So when you've got both of those mixed together and you've got, Kayshon, he's a new dad. He's having to balance school, football, and fatherhood all at the same time while playing in his most pressure-filled, most demanding season. Right? And he came up short statistically. But he didn't come up short in reality as a leader in that locker room. You know, he's not going to be talking to you or me, you know, like going all crazy and, hey, what's up, rah, 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 rah. But behind the scenes, in that locker room, with his teammates, with his coaches, Kayshon's more vocal than you know. And this is a very vocal statement of continuity here. What does LSU need the most going into 2023, year 2 under Brian Kelly? What does he need? You know, what does LSU need the most? What does Brian Kelly need the most? Continuity. We need at least some kind of thread. You know, that thread kind of kept the team somewhat together when you kept guys like on the offensive line, kind of kept them going last year. When Coach O was able to keep some of those old veterans in, you know, when we're able to keep guys out of the portal this offseason, you know, grabbing guys, you know, from the portal who we thought could maybe, you know, bridge some of that continuity. It's happened. It's been done. And when you see that there's a chance not only for Kayshon Boutte to return, he's already made that. He's coming back. But when you think about someone like Jaquelin Roy, had a season of, you know, injured, showed his best in a few games, a few big games, because, you know, he was basically hurt for 3/4 of the season. But he's still showing out big time when it has counted, when it has mattered. And, you know, is he going to come back now? Because I tell you what, having an offensive weapon like Kayshon coming back really reinvigorates that roster, really gets guys going, really makes a mission statement of let's keep this team as together as we possibly can. Maybe we see a receiver go into the transfer portal because of this decision. You know, that's a possibility. But with like Jere Jenkins going, maybe possibly one other guy going, I don't think you're going to see too much movement there. I think actually you're going to see an addition there with Dominic Lovett. As we posted about a week ago on our site, we got information from a source close to Dominic Lovett that he would enter the transfer portal, and he did. And that source also told us, with some sunglass emojis, you know, elite. And I was like, oh, he's elite. Well, of course he's elite. He's first team All-SEC. And he's a former, I won't say that. So you think he's coming? And the dude was just, shh. So we got our answer, and let's just say that we're probably going to be bolstered at that position with some help. The receiving core could be just as dynamic as this year, if not even more so. And then when you have, you know, Jaden Daniels in year 2, and then you got Garrett Nussmeier improving, you got Walker Howard right there in the wings. You've got really strong options in that quarterback room. And you can pretty much pick your poison of which direction you want this offense to go in. How do you want this offense to be? Do you want it to be a passing offense? Do you want it to be a run-first offense like we've seen this year? What do you want to see? And that's where we're headed right now. And I think when you see Kayshon Boutte coming back, you see the passing game against Georgia and how successful that was with both quarterbacks, not just Nussmeier. Jaden Daniels was actually throwing a lot of strikes early, put up 200 and something yards himself in only a few quarters of work. Like, there's some strong possibilities for this to be an explosive offense in 2023. I mean, we only saw just a few glimpses of what this offense can be. And I mean, you saw it. There were some games where we randomly just ran up 40-plus points. There's every chance that this offense can continuously do that. It's just who's going to be under center. Who's going to be under center? Who's going to be the guy who can unlock those pieces to the puzzle? That's what we're wondering. That's what this is about. That's what we're going to find out next. But you know what? We'll figure that out. Right now, if you're an LSU Tiger fan, you need to celebrate. Because our best offensive player is coming back for one more round.